The FDA approved updated COVID shots with new limits today. Shots from Pfizer, Moderna, and Novavax are approved for all people 65 and older, but the FDA narrowed their use for people 64 and younger to those with at least one high-risk health condition, such as asthma or obesity. Some medical groups objected to those restrictions, saying they could block access to the shots, especially to children. And Santa Clara County health leaders are urging families to prioritize vaccinating their kids as a new school year gets underway. Many county clinics which support vulnerable residents rely on funding from Medicaid, and they anticipate a loss of more than $1 billion in funding during the next few years. That is why they are asking families to take advantage of free or affordable care and access to vaccines. And with students back in the classroom for a new school year, medical experts say it is important for parents to keep an eye on their children's health. And this is especially true for students who may be more vulnerable to back-to-school germs. Fox's Ted Lindner has more.
It might not be a surprise to most families that back-to-school season can also spell the return of coughs and sniffles. But according to public health experts, exposure to respiratory viruses like the common cold and the flu can lead to an uptick in emergency room visits for students with asthma at the start of a new academic year.
Asthma attacks driven by viruses tend to peak when children go back to school. And there's an overall greater burden in children living in poorer neighborhoods. They tend to spike more quickly in poorer neighborhoods.
Besides crowded classrooms and environmental stressors, researchers at the University of Texas at Austin say viruses can also spread easily if caregivers who lack access to sick leave have to send their kids to school if they're ill. And students with asthma may be more vulnerable.
When children go back to school, they are exposed to common cold viruses in the school environment in a way that they're not exposed in the summertime. In the first few weeks of school, as many as 9 out of every 10 asthma attacks are triggered by viruses.
Signs asthma symptoms may be flaring up can include
coughing, chest tightness, difficulty breathing.
Health specialists say parents of students with asthma should have an action plan in place with their child's school.
To have their asthma medication available at school to help protect the child from an asthma emergency.
Meanwhile, advising all students to cover their coughs and sneezes and to wash their hands before eating can also help combat the spread of viruses that can trigger asthma attacks. Ted Lindner, Fox News.